We just lost a whole building in New York.
What happened?
Officials say explosion and fire caused collapse of a building on 62nd Street.
Yeah, but they... Oh, wait, look at that.
Fat woman trips on top floor.
The whole building's gone. It looks like it's about a 4 or 5 story building. Gone. Completely done.
It looks insignificant.
It looks like...
doesn't look like a significant building.
It looks like if you pulled a tooth out. It's completely gone.
Is it terror?
3-story building located on 62nd Street between Madison and Park Avenue. That's like right there. It's like traffic. 4 blocks away from here. 5 blocks, whatever. Wow.
I'm sure it's some dopey construction accident. These guys are always very careful.
That sucks.
Look at that. The whole building's gone, and the building next to it looks like it wasn't even damaged on both sides.
Fucking whole life up in flames. That's gotta suck.
Whole life? I think your life might be up in flames if you were in it.
The government, man, they wired it. They fucking blew it up is what they did, man.
That's why I don't get easy pass.
It's a conspiracy. Look at him going with the long shot, trying to reminisce about 9/11.
What's the other thing they're showing?
It's a
long shot of the area.
It's a long shot of the area because they want to show the New York City skyline with a collapsed building smoke thing because they want to kind of conjure up images of 9/11. These vultures.
Hey, how about someone wake up and look? We got audio.
You can't
Give me that channel.
and hide.
Firefighters on the ground
have just about knocked down. Madison Avenue is completely closed, and there are numerous street closures in the area. Passers-by,
it's not going home
busy
I have things
area
to do.
for shoppers and tourists, and many curious as to what's going on. But we did speak to some residents who they just said they heard an explosion, they felt the building shake, and then they just ran out. Next door is a high-rise, an apartment building, an apartment house. The first level of that building that exploded was the garage for that high-rise.
Channel, or
but beyond that, we're not sure in
another channel.
terms of what the remaining.
They're all over. They're the same.
There were doctors' offices
story everywhere
in that structure. This is on
buzzing. You guys stop the
62nd
buzzing
between
fucking
Madison
channel.
and Park. That's the latest from the Upper East Side. Marcus Sowell, Channel 7.
There's so many men can do at a certain time. I mean, clearly your top units, your rescue units, Rescue 1, I'm sure Rescue 2, and various different places from the boroughs have already come in there. Your collapse team, those are the experts who come in there and work on these situations. Once the fire is out, it's really, I mean, obviously now they're still in a rescue and a recovery mode, but once the fire is out, the point is to get in there and to be able to save anyone, if anyone is in that building.
Right, and we want to go to an update now. Joe Bierman has been flying overhead in Chopper 2, brought us our first pictures and continuing pictures. Joe, what else do you know right now?
Well, Casey, you're asking about damage to the building next door. We watched this tower ladder come up, and then all of a sudden we saw this fireman gesturing to the chiefs on the ground. If you look right above the tower ladder, you can see there is structural damage to the left, which is to the east of the collapsed building. See that big crack, and there's a large chunk out of the western side of the wall
on the roof
there.
is crazy.
So there is damage to the surrounding building, the one that is immediately to the to the left, which is to the east of 32 East 62nd. The smoke just has now filled all of Manhattan. It continues to rise up at
No, it hasn't filled all of Manhattan. We're on 57th Street. There's no smoke. You lying cunt.
The smoke condition will affect people.
We're like how many blocks away? 5 blocks away. No smoke out our window. This lying fucking alarmist ass.
Joe, I don't know if you can speak to this or if Scott can here, but the stability.
You're right. They are trying to invoke 9/11 images.
They are. They're trying so much to bring up an image.
How concerned do we
get you to look
about that? I guess we have a firefighter on top, so he feels pretty confident there.
Yeah, I would say there's no immediate rush. They have not evacuated the crews off the top of the building, but I watched and you can see that tower ladder has now gone back down. I was curious as to why he came up to the roof.
I am going to have to go take the battery tunnel out of this goddamn city today.
Out of the building, the crack in that wall there. So that is of some concern, but
shouldn't affect 59th Street Bridge traffic or anything.
Type building that is probably very well.
I hate the way they have to call it fucking Chopper 2 just to get their cocksucking news plug in there.
Chopper 2.
How about the helicopter? Because that's what it is. What are you going to take a ride in Van 2? Fucking cocksuckers.
the extent of
It's a helicopter.
Of course it is.
Where's Chopper 2?
No, it's great. They got a picture. It says first emergency crews on the scene reported major change, but basically reported major collapse. Of course, we can see it.
What are they supposed to report?
Massive explosion was reported just before 9 this morning. Massive. It's a 3-story building.
Collapse like that, you're going to have a lot of things that are going to burn.
It's kind of weird.
There's still a lot of.
It happens from time to time.
I bet there was a gas leak or construction or something.
Little gas leak fills up with the gas.
Fire. All the gas and electric.
Spark. Goodbye.
But no more mice. Not in that building. That's one way to solve that problem.
They say rats start a lot of fires.
Chew through the wires.
Yeah. They say
short circuit.
They say rats are responsible for a lot of fires in a city. They chew through everything.
I know that she has an eyewitness with her at the moment to the explosion.
Let's hear this.
Look
at this old.
What is she able to tell us about what's happened this morning?
Kirsten, good morning. This is Vivian Horan, who actually lives in a building right on the same side of the street. Vivian, describe what you were telling me you heard this morning when this building collapsed.
It was a huge explosion, and everything shook. One thought that New York was under some terrorist explosion.
That's why they have you on.
Right. Terrifying.
First thing that came to your mind. So what did you feel, and what did you do immediately after that happened?
Well, I sort of stayed there numb. I made sure my husband was all right. I called him, and then I ran to the window, and I saw this whole building was just in pieces on the street. So then our next-door neighbor said they're evacuating. We grabbed the dog and put a few clothes on, and
she evacuated into a diaper.
Certainly did. Any damage? And what is that building that collapsed? We're hearing it was perhaps a doctor's office?
I think it was a doctor's office for 2 doctors, and I believe one man lived there, but I'm not sure.
What are you thinking? Look down the street at this point. This is not what you usually see when you're looking down East 62nd Street. Describe the scene.
That's not stating the obvious.
Well, it's full of fire trucks and policemen. And
why is she describing what we're looking at?
Have a camera.
A lot of windows.
Describe what everyone else is looking at.
30, but I don't know about our building.
Stinks.
So what are you doing right now? You've been evacuated.
She's talking to you, cunt!
Rescue units telling you.
What do you think she's doing? She's getting marshmallows.
So just have to hang out.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us. So that's Vivian Horan. She lives in building number 40, which is right next door to this one, actually 2 down. If we could take a moment, though, I want to show you the street. We were able to move our camera and show you a different vantage point. You were asking what Park Avenue looked like. Don, if we could just turn around. These are the ambulances I was telling you about that are actually just lined up and down the street.
Woman. She's the size of an ambulance.
Running in the other direction here, waiting just in case there are anybody that needs to go out of this building, any possible injuries. You can also see right over here, if we look, the NYPD gearing up. People that are going to have to go in there. That's the emergency service unit. And there are just one truck after another continues to arrive at this scene. Kirsten and Maurice, you can see how chaotic it is. I think this gives you a little bit of a better vantage point. Of course, a lot of these people are people who are walking along, saw something was happening, but there are a lot of people mixed in here.
We thought they parachuted in.
Stupid woman is horrid.
Because it is such a residential area.
Is it?
Okay, thanks so much, Tam.
These are all people who at one point came out of a vagina. They got dressed this morning. They left their homes. They weren't born here. They weren't raised here like plants.
We're wondering what the situation there is with them.
They just keep talking to keep you from turning it off.
It seems like they're putting themselves in danger by being right next to the collapse.
Well, they're firemen. A pivotal role here because the command center is on the ground. That's where the person who's handling this entire scene is basically the quarterback of this rescue and recovery effort right now. These gentlemen are sizing up what the scene looks like from that vantage point, and they're able to give that information to the command post, and the command post can make decisions based on what they can visually see from there. I mean, you have think of it as you have gentlemen, you have firefighters on top of the roof, you have people in the back, you have people in the front. They're basically sizing it up. There's a big board in front that has all of the units involved in this rescue and recovery effort. You have the firefighters, you have the trucks, the engines, the collapse rescue, the rescue workers,
the wheels that people they roll in on,
the person who's the command person on scene. So all of these people play a very
dummy this guy is. Just keep talking so they don't tune it off.
and the timing of that.
There's also quite a bit of information that can be available to firefighters. I know that they can have access to building plans.
Yeah. Can they?
That's interesting.
You know, what's in the basement, how these things are constructed.
Right.
Really?
Right. That kind of information.
Yeah, how is that going to...
possible gas leaks and things like that.
Right.
They're at their worst. Why don't you
like this happen? Good question.
Why don't you go over the canceled appointments from the doctor's office?
Fucking for all their area that
Mrs. Harriet Nubbs was supposed to have her anus scraped. That will have to wait as the building is gone.
And ask them what they know about this building and what they know about the gas, what they know about electric, and what they know about the construction of the building. This obviously is an older type building, and I'm sure they've been there several times before. They've done inspections there. They know what is in those buildings. So at this point, that information is already with the command personnel.
Wait, can I do my... This is what this guy... All right, here we go. This is the same bit. I have nothing. I have no information. I have no information. I have nothing. I have nothing. I have no information.
But people, please keep tuned in.
And the engines, they paint them red. They use red paint in the factory.
They have lights and sirens that get them through traffic easier here in this city and other cities around the country. Do you have Fox News? Because I want to see what kind of panic they're in.
Yeah, breaking news.
Let's get us Fox News because...
townhomes, brownstone townhomes that are highly desired by people who can afford them. They'll go in, do a big renovation, and have a showplace property that they can keep for years and years and years. At any rate, this one is no more. Whatever it was, it's pretty much gone now, having collapsed as the result of some kind of an explosion and fire. Again, there are reports that people are trapped in the rubble.
Reports.
There are shattered windows nearby. Shattered windows in some of the other buildings.
Yeah, who's reporting this?
Again, witnesses said they heard a loud explosion, but not clear whether that came before or after the fire. As the camera pulls back, terrorism, and you get the wide shot there, you can see how that one small building was a bit of an anomaly on that block. It was a very small building. Others around it had been knocked down over the years and replaced by those big boxy apartment buildings, which are frankly generally less desirable, according to the renters who or the owners who live nearby. Eric Shawn is a longtime reporter on the New York scene, has probably seen this kind of thing before, and may know a little bit more about what's going on today. Eric, what can you tell us?
One new thing.
Yeah, John, the question obviously is what may have caused this fire and or explosion. Did the fire come first, then the collapse? It's Monday morning, first. Potentially, if there was construction, it perhaps could be a construction accident or something else, or a gas main type of a situation. East 62nd Street, as you say, is a very high-end part of Manhattan, on the east side of Manhattan. We're here at the United Nations, by the way, just about 10 blocks from that area, and some fire apparatus and emergency vehicles have gone by us here. Gay Talese, for example, the very well-known writer, lives right on that block, as well as others, movie directors, writers, actors.
Give out everyone's address.
This guy, a minute into it, is giving out other famous people who live on the fucking 62nd Street, which goes from fucking the West Side Highway to fucking the East River. You cocksucker. Also lives in the borough of Manhattan. You're a douche.
Just off Fifth Avenue, and that bomb-making
terrorism, boys,
blew up and exploded and caused a similar small
just a gas leak
to
I think so.
Completely collapse.
Bomb-making factory, he just said.
Was from the Weather Underground, the anti-Vietnam War movement and all that. One person was killed in that explosion back in 1971.
He's bringing up
not known
a terrorist thing from 1971.
The people that went on the run.
Yeah, they got to tie in some type of terrorism.
Or a gas problem or a fire that then caused this.
They're using the word bomb on Fox News. New York City explosion sounded like bomb.
Sounded like bomb.
Felt like earthquake.
Danger.
Unknown whether to have a building under construction and the walls of either side are not supported properly, and then they collapse inward. This has happened in the Bronx, usually about once a year. But perhaps
you got to play this really fast. It's the Kaplan brothers. It's perfect for today. They did a song called Fox News Alert. Fox News Alert.
Oh, I haven't heard this.
It's really
very excited to hear new.
It's very, very good. The Kaplan brothers gave us, of course, Silence of the Lambs, the musical, and they got a song called Fox News Alert about how the Fox News loves to scare you.
These people are planning our destruction. The evidence is overwhelming.
Fox Fox News Alert.
These people are simply dangerous.
Fox News Alert.
We're just not smart enough to realize what's going to happen.
Up next tonight, the latest fright with truth so truthful it hurts. Fox News Alert.
Former 9/11 Commission issued a scathing report today that gave failing grades to the federal government for inadequacies.
Amid calls for an immediate end to the war in Iraq, the U.S. Senate passed a bill this week pressing the administration
blah, 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 blah.
The world is infested with sick individuals, so many imminent threats. Fox News Alert. Chemical weapons and gay marriage is happening now, right on your set. Fox News Alert. You're all gonna die. Fox News Alert. Don't you wanna know why?
We already know that the Pakistani crazies can design a nuclear device, and we already know that anybody can sneak in here.
What's coming next? You better prepare. Gotta stay on your toes. It's good to be scared. Keeping you posted on threats to beware. Fox News will protect you. We're here 'cause we care. Balanced and fair.
The former Florida college professor said publicly America should be damned to hell and there should be death to Israel. Are you offended by the word Christmas, madam? Are you offended by that word?
Letting you know when disasters attack. Keeping an eye on Hispanics and blacks. Everyone trusts us, the #1 station. We're part of your home, we're the voice of your nation. Fox News Alert on all the time.
Pretty bleak. Pretty bleak picture.
This is annoying me. This is really fucking annoying me.
Now it's annoying me. Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
That's annoying me. Keeping our eyes on Hispanics and blacks. Yeah, we know. The awful conservative media. We know. The innocent Hispanics and blacks that, you know, you're right. Only Fox does that. Good point. Fucking come on. I'm so sick. And look, Fox is biased. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But holy shit. Enough already. How about singing about fucking CNN putting an X over Dick Cheney? Not that he didn't deserve it, that doddering old cock. Face-shooting old jizzbag.
We got a guy kind of mad at us here. Ryan in Chicago. Ryan, what's up?
Hey, guys, terrorism is bad and everything, but I kind of do hope it is terrorism because you guys are going to look like the biggest asses.
That's a good reason to want a terrorist attack. It's not terrorism.
Well, the thing's already gone.
Everyone wants it to be terrorism. The news wants it to be terrorism.
They want it to be, dude.
People love
a minute.
Excitement and action.
Hold on a minute. Everybody wants it to be terrorism. Mm-hmm. It makes our lives so much more exciting. Don't bullshit yourselves, people. You want... Whenever you hear a building collapse or something in the news these days, you hope it's terrorism. The news hopes it is. The people hope it is. That's how we are. We want our life to be like a movie.
I disagree. I never root for terrorism. I mean,
I'm not rooting for it.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, I never want it to be terrorism, even for the excitement factor.
It brings some kind of...
No, I panic.
Yeah. It brings some kind of sick excitement into our lives.
Yeah, it does. That's why people are like, oh, yeah. Oh, it's terrible. Did you hear? Then they could call people. Are you okay? I was almost there. Then all the stories can go up.
You feel like you're alive.
I like when I see a fucking police video of 12 or 13 of these scumbags taken out like in handcuffs. That's all the excitement I need.
Like. Yeah.
By the way, Danny's rushing to the scene. We'll have a report from our own Danny.
Oh, well, that's good.
Hey, Ryan.
Holy shit. I fucking crossed Madison at like 5 this morning.
So?
Did you throw something
close?
Oh, you were pretty close.
That's close, man. Whew.
Do you think, what do you think there, Ryan?
About what?
Jesus, Ryan.
Do you think
you called us, shithead?
Do you think it's terrorism?
No, probably not. No. Why would they blow up a dopey 3-story building?
Of course, they wouldn't.
Well,
exactly.
No, I could see the other side of that. It could scare the crap out of everyone going, oh, my God, they could just blow up, a building in the city like that.
If it's any
Maybe it's going to be my
related,
building next, and there's the panic that they're looking for.
If there's any terrorist-related shit with this whole thing, it's like somebody in the building was a terrorist, and he was putting together some kind of fucking, bomb. That's the only way it could be.
Or it could have been
it went off accidentally.
It could have been a selfish suicide guy. Said, you know what, I don't want to live. I'm taking the whole building with me.
Turn on
gas.
turn on gas, time to light the cigarette.
Yeah, that could be. I just think construction.
I think a little. You think they were? There was.
Yeah, those guys are always screwing up.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, please. I still to this day worry that some ductwork I put up 20 years ago is going to fall on someone's head because I fucking just was tired of working that day. Had better shit to do. Didn't put in that extra screw, you know. Didn't bolt it down tight enough. Didn't go for the right wrench. So I used a pair of pliers or something. You just gotta hope for the best.
Did you work on a building on 62nd Street?
Absolutely did. I did. Really did.
All right, why don't we take a break?
I'm going to go wash my fruit, Opie.
The blueberries are perfect, by the way.
They look, I know.
I examined the blueberries when they arrived. They're perfect.
And the strawberries are Driscolls. These are the ones I buy at home. I've been eating a lot of blueberries and strawberries.
Of other countries. So there were some members who were actually sleeping in there, and they didn't wake up. So we saw a member walk out of the building half an hour after the incident happened.
Wake up here in midair.
And I've never seen a building like this.
What are you thinking looking at this scene along East 62nd and Park right now?
Honestly, I've never seen anything like it in my life, and it's like a horrible thing to go through.
And questions.
I wish that nobody died in that building because most of the residents over there, I know them personally.
Guess what?
I don't know them by their names, but I know them.
Let's hear the next dumb question. The same broad ass.
Here for lunch breaks and all that. I see them, the girls and the guys, and the gentleman who owns is a friend of mine. Actually, we shake hands occasionally.
Oh, so you could shake his. It's in the street somewhere.
Well, we hope the same thing, and I'm glad you're safe, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. That is what's going on out here, one story after another like this. Very active scene, obviously, still unfolding right now. If you want to take a look
hey,
down
Tamsin,
East
is the gentleman, Tamsin, I'm sorry to cut you there. Is the gentleman still there? Is he still nearby?
We have a question that's much better than the ones you're asking.
You know what? Hold on one second. Let me just grab him.
I have a follow-up.
Can you come over here 1 second again for me?
Follow-up.
Yes, what did you want me to ask?
Just curious, what's in the building that is collapsed? We have an address.
Okay, let me ask you, what is in that building? Is that a doctor's office? What, are people living there?
Doctor's office on the ground floor. All the rest of the floors are residents, to the best of my knowledge. I've never been in the building, but I know there's...
How do you know all the residents, you dope?
He knows everybody. Never been in.
What a liar. He shook some patient's hand one time.
Would people be in there that early in the morning?
I'm sure there are. Not everyone goes to work.
He doesn't know what's in the building, yet he's sure they are. He loves his camera time, you dumb whore. He's giving you nothing.
Steps.
Oh, yes?
Kind of a building. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who were there in the building.
Channel 7, got people being wheeled out. That's what we need.
Faces covered. This person, actually, what we should tell you is a firefighter. We're told this person is a firefighter. Little difficult for us to get a view here, but we are told that he is a New York City firefighter. Don't know his exact condition, but he's, of course, being loaded right now into the ambulance. They're getting a backboard for him right now. He's going to be moved onto this other
Let's make sure we don't send Ben over there. They'll be trying to get him into an ambulance.
Yeah. He's obviously got smoke inhalation. He's jerking.
His hair has been singed.
He's saying Boston.
Sir, can you hear me?
What?
We do know, as we said earlier, that there were at least 2 civilians, 2 women, brought out to hospitals. You can see now they're working very carefully.
They got the fireman's head braced. He might have fallen.
Making sure that his neck, his head is secure. They're moving him onto this.
We're grabbing the audio. Larry King was in the building next door. He's like, I thought a bomb went off. Nathaniel's grabbing it right now.
Oh, really?
So he was in the hotel next door, and he's talking about 9/11, all this shit.
Of course he is. Why doesn't Larry shut his fucking weight-losing face?
All right, we're going to also go while we watch this, go to John Del Giorno once again. And John, we understand this was a firefighter, according to Sarah.
My garlic tablet fell on the floor, and I spilt my Welch's grape juice.
Yes, that is a firefighter from what we understand.
Shilling
now.
ass.
I thought my 8th wife snapped my suspenders.
There were 2 injuries that Marcus talked about, and then a handful of others. That is the first person that we have seen.
Let's go to Russell in California.
Russell. The scene on a stretcher.
Yeah, these people are turning it into like a Clue game. I want to bet on Puerto Ricans in the basement with a meth lab.
The meth lab. Russell, right on. Coke Logic, what's up?
Hey, I just turned on the TV, and the early reports are saying that it was two gay men in the apartment burning a Java log.
Java log. Damn, again.
By the way, your most annoying 30 seconds below.
This is a basement entrance.
All right. Someone's suggesting the fire and explosion of this building here in New York came from a bear who was burning his Blink production pieces.
Tim.
Poor Steve.
Tim.
Hey, boys. What's up? Hey, I'm reporting live from inside the building here. There's flames. There's bricks and blocks and beams on top of me. I believe there's firemen outside trying to get in.
Are you injured, sir? Are you injured?
No, I'm fine, actually. I cut my finger this morning on a piece of paper, but I think I'll be fine.
And are the firemen spraying water in the direction of the flames?
Yes, they're pointing it directly at the flame, at the center of the flame.
Okay, so what you're saying here, the firemen are using water on those flames to try and do what to the fire, sir?
I'm not 100% sure, but reports are telling me that they're trying to put the fire out.
Put the fire out with water.
Is this working?
Well, the flames are getting close. I don't know. It seems to be working a little bit, but who am I to say? Who am I to say?
Right, exactly. Well, we're getting a follow-up question, though, from the studio. Hold on. Can you talk a little longer, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, yes? Okay.
Yes.
The follow-up question was what Jimmy said. Is there a history of water actually working with fire?
I believe in the past we have noticed, I think it was 1972, there was a fire on this exact street. And
there was.
The firemen used water to put the fire out, and yes, it did work. Yes.
Now, right now, we're seeing smoke. Is the smoke associated with the fire?
The smoke, I believe, was coming from that Java log, as the caller
with
before
the Java log.
say, yes. But the smoke, I don't know if it's coming from the fire. I can't say that.
He is just as good an ass as all the people that are talking
on the news.
Tim.
Thanks, Tim. You actually gave us as much as the reporters did, and he's not even there.
Complete ass.
All right, we should take a break.
I got to tinkle and wash my fruit.
Oh. At the same time.
You got to, stop it. I wouldn't.
The urinal and piss on
that would be unhygienic.
By the way, we were outside Free FM. Did anyone feel or hear anything? It was only 5 blocks away.
No.
They said it was like
it was like 9, right?
Yeah, we were right outside.
Yeah, we heard no sirens. There felt no explosion or earthquake, and
they said it felt like an earthquake
than we are right now.
Everything feels like an earthquake if you're close enough. When you're on the elevator and it does a little lurch, you think it's an earthquake for a half second.
Like an earthquake.
You know,
we were all outside. True. It couldn't have been more than 5-6 blocks away from where we were.
If you're next to Ben when he's snoring, you think it's an earthquake.
Right when it happened.
Oof.
All right, why don't we take a break?
Oh, shit. Almost missed that one.
I couldn't wait to spit that one out.
All right,
my head moved forward.
All right, we got Danny. He's about a block away from the building collapse here in Manhattan. Danny, what's going on? You're on 61st and Madison.
Indeed I am. I'm in the center of all the action, so to speak.
What's the scene?
Your standard clusterfuck in Manhattan. Got tons of ambulance, fire trucks, police cars. The whole city will shut down, I'm sure.
How did 57th look?
Pretty damn good, aside from some emergency vehicles trying to get by. But
let's just say, hypothetically, somebody was driving eastbound on 57th from where we are, let's say, just picking a random location, from where we broadcast from, to, let's say, pick another random location, the 59th Street Bridge.
You mean now or later?
Maybe
and I don't know, an hour or so.
We got a meeting today.
An hour and a half, 2 hours. They should have it cleaned up by then, I think. Tidied up.
Yeah, you'll be just fine.
All right, so nothing's going on, Danny?
Well, apparently what used to be one large structure is now multiple smaller structures.
Can you see it?
An interview?
No, I can't see it. I mean, I can't get any closer without an official press pass.
Oh, well, Danny, do you have a sticker on you or anything?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a sticker on you or anything?
No, I have my building ID that says XM Satellite Radio.
Just saying, how about one more for old time's sake? Yeah. I'd love to see it.
Any live TV near you?
Oh, tons, dude.
That's kind of what I want to see.
Yeah.
Now, like, look, there's nothing against Danny maybe just stepping into a live shot.
Or how about saying that you're a witness and you saw what happened?
I would lie. I do miss doing those, too.
Do you have the Channel 2 camera right there?
Do I have a what now?
Channel 2, interviewing some guy.
Oh, man, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm in the middle of the street, and I'm just looking for the first live shot I see.
It's by some, get the fuck out of here, yellow police tape.
Danny, why don't you be honest and tell us that you're pretty much right outside our building and you didn't even go anywhere near the...
Not even close.
Not even close.
I don't know.
All right, Danny.
I can see the smoke if that makes you feel better. I just can't get any closer to it.
Well, we can see it from here as well, so... All right, Danny.
Right.
If anything is going on, give us a call back.
I absolutely will.
All right, thank you. Here's Larry King on scene of New York City explosion. I guess according to Ben, he was staying right next door or something like that.
Larry King is known, of course, to all of us as the host of CNN's Larry King Live. He is used to being the interviewer, but he was in a hotel here just a few blocks away and heard and saw much of the excitement, the explosion. We talked to him just
Wait. Did she just say he was a few blocks away at a hotel?
We were a few blocks away at work.
No, what I heard was Larry King was in the building right next door
and who
when
told
the building
us that?
collapsed. Who?
Ben.
Was it Ben?
Ben said he was either staying in the building or at a hotel right next door.
And now I believe I heard this woman say
next door.
A few blocks away. Yeah. Everybody is a few blocks away from this.
We talked to him just a few moments ago.
I was in my hotel room right around the corner on the 15th floor, and I heard this sound like I've never heard before, and it sounded like a bomb. Now, I grew up in New York. I live in L.A. now, and I thought of 9/11, which is the natural thing to think of.
No, it's not.
And I looked out the window, and I looked out right on Park Avenue. I saw some people running. So I took the elevator right down, and the people in the hotel said something happened around the corner. I went to the corner, and just as I pulled up, the emergency equipment was coming, fire engines and ambulances and all the rest. And I cut around the block to get a view from this angle from Madison Avenue.
Can you describe what you saw?
I saw a lot of smoke, people scurrying everywhere, and to its credit, because New York is amazing, the police, they react so quickly.
What are they supposed to do?
They woke off the streets quick. They were courteous to the people. They were never rude.
Shut up.
They made the people back off.
Get the fuck out of here, you burning asshole. What are they supposed to do?
He goes, I heard a sound. It would sound like something I've never heard before. What was it, a happy marriage?
And here it is, Channel 2 now reporting Con Edison was investigating a smell of gas in the area.
Oh, boy.
Which could have been, now, with the time in the elevator ride down from CBS, it could have been Jimmy's asshole. Because
language. This is still my home. I'm going with guy decides to kill himself and take the building with him.
That's a ballsy move.
So as you can see, that rescue has ceased. They have all come out of the rubble pile. They are all now gathering here at the base of the tower ladder. So from the scaled down activity, I guess there is not word of anybody else trapped, or they're not aware of anybody else trapped, at least here on the 62nd Street side of the incident.
All right. Joe, thank you so much.
There's also obviously people working in the backside of this building, too, that we're not seeing.
Smoke.
And clearly, right now, intelligence is an important thing. I know it sounds silly, but intelligence is where people may be, where information's coming, where the guys on top of the roofs are seeing. I mean, they use high-power binoculars, too, to be able to see any kind of movement, a hand, a foot, anything that would give it an indication that someone may be in there.
Name more body parts, you dumb cunt. We know what movement is.
They don't needlessly put anybody else's life in jeopardy for the sake of
nose,
they have ways of listening in, too, right, Scott? Right, they do, and that's actually an important factor.
Maybe an ear wiggle. Perhaps a lash flutter.
On the surface, right below.
Perhaps a fingernail growing.
Below could be someone who's
alive. Perhaps an asshole
that's
fluttering.
trying to get out, and you have to obviously use those techniques.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah.
An arm, a finger, a hand, we get it. More Larry King. Larry describes sound, the sound that he heard.
Describe the sound.
Well, the only sound I've heard like it as ever would be in movies. It was a boom. I've been in a few earthquakes, in L.A., and an earthquake can make a sound too, but not like this. This was, it sounded like a bomb would sound. What would a big, like the bombing of London in World War II. It's the only thing I can imagine.
You hear fucking sirens going off? Air raid sirens?
Time to retire, Larry.
It
was like a
boom. The only way I could describe it is it sounded like a building, a 3-story building, having an explosion and then collapsing. It sounded sort of like that.
He's trying to find these poetic things that it sounded like.
Yeah.
He knows he's a newsman and he stinks.
He's supposed to be good at it.
It sounded like the Motley Crue's opening. Fucking dope.
It then, in a crescendo of falling brick, it then...
Yeah, shut up.
Let's say hi to John in New York. John.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, John.
Anthony, come on. You live in New York almost your whole life. Connis Edison?
I didn't say Connis Edison.
You did, you ass.
I said Con Edison, you fucking cocksucker.
Connis.
Get me the tape, fuck dick. You jerk off. Like I would call it Connis Edison.
Why'd you call it Connis Edison, did you?
I never would have called it Connis Edison.
Redirect the tape, goddammit.
Yeah, maybe we can find the tape to say.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So you can apologize to John.
I'm never apologizing to John.
Why?
Shut up. Everyone's saying I said Connis Edison.
You did.
I might have said like Con Edison. No. I might have like tripped up and then knew I was tripping up and said it again.
Nope.
What, you have it?
Of course we do.
And here it is, Channel 2 now reporting Con Edison was investigating a smell of gas in the area. I said Con Edison, instead of repeating Con Edison, because I went into Edison before I was done with Con.
Did you?
So instead of finishing it...
You owe someone an apology.
I think you did say Con.
Fuck him!
You said Con.
Fuck him in his fucking ass!
Why, he's trying to help.
No.
He's just trying to help the program.
Know what I meant, not what I said.
You cursed him out, you owe him an apology. And he could call in any time to get that apology. This was handed in today.
Yes, it was.
Adam Carolla hangs up on Ann Coulter.
Oh, no.
Why do we care about this?
I don't know, but it must have been riveting.
I don't know. It was on the front page of Drudge for like 5 minutes.
Why? Who fucking cares?
I know.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Good time.
Like, for no time.
Adam Carolla's going to be on the front page of Drudge. Oh.
Good times, good times.
So what's the story?
What do you say, fan?
If it's on the front page of Drudge, that means this is very important.
Well, Ann Coulter was going to call in with, I guess she's promoting her book. She was like 2 hours or an hour and a half late with the phone call. So Adam was a little miffed at her to start with. And then after a couple of questions, she says she's pressed for time. And he's like, all right, later. Hangs up on her.
I kind of respect that.
And that's a big story?
Yeah, that was a big story.
Well, let's hear how it went down. Here's the audio.
Lisa Lampanelli in studio. Great to see you.
You too, babe.
Ann Coulter, who was supposed to be on the show about an hour and a half ago, is now on the phone as well. Ann?
Hello.
Hi, Ann. You're late, baby doll.
Somebody gave me the wrong number.
How did you get the right number? Just dialed randomly? Eventually you got through to our show?
No, my publicist emailed it to me, I guess, after checking with you. But I am really tight on time right now because I already had it.
All right, well, get lost.
Oh, my God.
Did you just hang up on Ann Coulter?
Well, she's tight on time.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that. I'm tight on time. Go
Good. You're tight on time. I'm tight on time, too. And I don't have time for bitches, so let's move on.
That was the only interview with Ann Coulter that she didn't say something offensive.
Saying it now. Tight on time. You know what? Go after yourself. You're tight on time.
I say this, Ann Coulter. Why the long face?
Listen, you bitch. Don't call in an hour and a half late and tell me you're tight on time. Of course you're tight on time. You're an hour and a half goddamn late calling into the radio show. Just take your crappy book and go pitch it to your stupid cable outlets.
Well,
I respect him for dumping on her like that.
You got to give him credit. He finally did something interesting with his radio show.
There you go.
Maybe she
did something good.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you don't want to piss off his listeners, man. He's got like a whole
army.
The show's a disaster. Everybody in radio knows it's just a matter of time before he will be replaced, whether it's by us or somebody else.
I'm not apologizing.
That is a fact. You have to apologize.
You were wrong, Ann.
John.
How you doing, Mr. Kumiya?
Listen to me.
Wait, John, what did Anthony call you?
Listen to me.
What did Anthony call you, first of all?
Sucker.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's
Yes.
very offensive.
You could tell even by listening to that clip, you could tell that I know it's Con Edison. You were calling me out that I live in New York and don't know it's not Conis Edison, like I was calling it Conis Edison my whole fucking life. It was one of those verbal things where I said it when you mix two words. You ever do that where you take two words and you kind of mix them together?
Like almost like unapologetic asshole.
Shut the fuck up, Jimmy.
Exactly.
That's a bunch of words.
John's waiting for his apology.
You're not going to get one.
John. Why, he just calls in to talk to you the right way. You're getting fucking fresh.
Give him his apology.
Go fuck yourself, John.
Give him like
no apology.
Give him a sort of apology.
I never apologize.
I'm
never wrong. I'm never wrong.
Like Fonzie.
I was rude.
Please, sir, I'm very...
You were wrong in the card game on the boat.
Yes,
you and your chick were arguing, and she was right. And she
was wrong.
You were,
right.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
It happens a lot.
That made me very happy.
I know.
I didn't even know it was happening, but I was rooting for her.
The dealer was fucking me up on that one. That was it.
No deaths. 6 injuries, 1 victim is critical.
Oh, nice. I mean, no deaths.
A miracle on 62nd Street. That'll be the headline if still stays no one dead by tomorrow.
Can't wait for the headlines tomorrow. All right, John, I guess you're not going to get your apology.
No, go fuck off.
Too bad John Sterling isn't a newsman. And the building goes boom!
And across from this building was a coffee cart, and Theodore Malonis was manning that coffee cart, and he said that the ground shook violently. He couldn't believe the force of the blast that pulled him back a little bit and shook his coffee cart off the ground, he says. What he did was he saw 2 women bloody, he says. He gave them ice, and he tried to keep them calm before the ambulances arrived. I also spoke to an electrical worker, Nigel White. He saw everything. He says he was briefly separated from his co-worker, and when I was talking to him, he was desperate to find this other man, and we looked around and we find this guy, and everything was fine in that particular case. But it's just been one story after another of people worried about their loved ones, people in the building right next door. In fact, if we can move...
3-story building. How many calls can they get about people worried about...
Exactly.
There's an office and a salon, and...
We got 4 calls, and that covered everybody.
Yeah, everyone's okay. Dr. Nicholas Bartha communicated suicide with.
And make sure that there are no more casualties inside that building. As of right now, they don't believe anybody is in that rubble. They believe only the doctor, Dr. Nicholas Bartha, was in there at the time. Now, as far as what happened, initially we thought this may have been just an accidental explosion from a ruptured gas line of some sort, or something related to a leak of natural gas. But as we're hearing more about it, it appears that it could have been on purpose. This building exploded, possibly in a suicide attempt.
That's why
there's a lot of collateral damage. I can tell you one building at least has been suffered significant damage, a hole in the wall. And I want to clear a couple of things up. Initially on the scene, we were told there was a parking garage under this building. I'm getting from a neighbor of this building. She said there is no parking garage underneath.
How about doing your own homework?
That is a relief of some sort, because we don't believe there should be any cars underneath, obviously. So as of now, 7 people injured that we are aware of, no deaths, and that is the good part of all of this.
What about the doctor? What about the doctor?
Suicide attempt, at least that's what the fire commissioner is telling us. Gretchen?
Todd, unbelievable, at least from my perspective, that nobody else was killed in this horrific thing. Thank you for
shooting yourself,
your update for us. We want to listen now to one of the firefighters who...
Fox News should hire me. I know this stuff. Why didn't anyone else come up with that theory?
How can they hire you? Have a gig.
I don't want this gig anymore.
What are you going to do? Fucking go home and... I'll give you as cranky as you are after the show. I got to go do Fox now for 8 hours.
But I know this crowd. Why can't one person come up with that theory? It was so obvious.
Terror's more fun.
A lot easier, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Terror.
Terror diva.
That's right. Yeah, we got to get right into it. That's a nice little tidbit that you started telling us right before the show started, Anthony.
Good morning and welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. We're going to get right into it today.
Hi.
The ONA virus spreading across America. Our phone number, 1-866-313-FREE. Your pals Opie and Anthony broadcasting from the greatest city in the world.
Yeah, most people think it's for one reason, the greatest city in the world. Everyone just says that. We look at it another way. It's just the greatest city in the world because so much crap happens here on a daily basis that Opie was saying it in the office. One week, we have crazy homeless chainsaw guy hacking people apart in the subway.
That was last week.
That was last week. Old news.
You don't
Who
even
cares?
remember that guy anymore.
Why would you remember when you got crazy divorce blow up the building guy this week? This city is unbelievable. We have a collection of nuts and kooks in an environment that is very video game-like. So you could just go around destroying things or hack it. What else do you do in a video game besides hack people apart with various weapons like chainsaws and things like that? You blow up buildings and it's just a pisser to live here.
And it gives you a feeling of being alive.
Right.
Deep down, we all love this stuff.
It comes on the news.
Not many people will admit it, but deep down, we all love destruction.
When it comes on the news, we gotta set 3 different TVs to 3 different news channels. You're scrambling around, changing channels. You want all the details. It's just because we enjoy this as human beings.
By the way, what did I tell you in the office that I needed today?
I can't supply that. I'm a heterosexual man.
You ass.
What did you need today?
I needed everyone to tell me.
Oh, that you were right.
Well, look, they're already calling.
Yep.
Chris in Houston. Chris, what's going on?
What's going on, boys? Just want to congratulate you on your prediction yesterday.
Thank you, sir. During the XM show, this building explosion happened here in Manhattan. I'm sure it's national news, so I don't think we have to explain it too much.
I said construction.
And said construction. I said suicide attempt, and this dude wanted to take other people with him.
And it was...
Bingo!
You said suicide attempt like 3 minutes after the explosion was announced.
I was way off. I said hot air balloon crashed into it.
Yeah. A Zeppelin crash. It's a Zeppelin crash.
Well, I knew because I had a doctor's appointment, and he kind of tipped me off and said,
don't show between...
Today might not be a good day to show up to get your you-know-what scraped out, all right?
Well, this guy, it just turns out...
Can I start with the headlines?
Please.
We are so excited, obviously.
Please.
And I know you are, too, out there.
Oh.
People love this stuff. Don't say you don't.
I have a special admiration for this guy now.
Yes, absolutely.
It might sound a little odd. Don't go against me yet.
Don't jump the gun.
Jump the gun. Thank you, Jim, with some more 1945 cliches.
Right. And I think it's about time that, someone starts admitting that we, as humans, actually love this stuff.
That's why the news covers it like they do.
We love checking out war. We love war.
War, destruction.
We love car crashes on the highway.
Carnage.
There's not a person out there that when they're stuck in traffic forever because of a car crash, that when they get to the accident scene, they're hoping that everyone's okay and there's not much happening. You're hoping for the sickest crash ever.
I don't look, by the way.
You're not a looker?
You know why? Out of principle. I hate rubberneckers, and if I'm looking at the accident, I can't look at the guy in front of me whose brake lights go on. And the second the brake lights go on, I hit the horn like a madman.
Good for you.
Like a madman, I hit the horn. And then when I get the arms flying up in the air that I see in his back window or out the window, I roll my window down and start yelling curse words and say, stop looking and drive. And then I use some bad language and sometimes racial epithets. And then I'm on my way.
I was in the Belt Parkway one time coming home from Long Island through Brooklyn. And there was a woman who slowed down a rubbernecking accident so badly, I almost got rear-ended because she literally stopped from doing 55 to maybe 20 miles an hour.
Do you just want to choke these people?
I almost broke my thumb. I've never beeped. It was one of those little horns on the side, like chiclet horns on my old Saturn.
Yeah.
I beeped so hard, the car actually went... the horn wore out. I was like, all right.
I've done that.
What are you beeping at? Yeah. Very annoying, the rubberneck.
All right, let's start with the headlines, okay? In order, New York papers of most boring to the best. New York Post, sorry. Blast you. Divorce doc blows up city mansion.
Blast you. Blast you. Using old pirate talk. What the hell is that?
Newsday, New York Newsday. Cops suspect explosion was blast of rage. Angry at wife over $4 million divorce. Doctor apparently blew up building in possible suicide try.
I love that quote.
And the Daily News. Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom. What does it say? Quote, mwah ha ha ha. Mwah ha ha.
And it goes on. Crazed doctor blows up East Side home and failed suicide bid.
Crazed.
Firefighters rescue him from beneath burning rubble. The dude lived, by the way.
Sensible, ballsy doctor. Yep. That's what I would call him.
And note reveals his refusal to part with house in bitter divorce.
There you go.
All on the front page of the New York Daily News. Good.
Divorce is a little bitter.
So what do we know?
What do we know? We know that this couple was married for quite some time. They're in their 60s, the guy at least, the doctor in his 60s. She's the ex-wife, a Holocaust survivor. I guess she was a kid at the time, but Holocaust survivor nonetheless. They're going through a bitter divorce. Allegations that the husband was hanging swastikas around the place kind of offend her. I guess that worked. But the bottom line is these lawyers get involved in divorces. And once they get involved, all bets are off. It becomes an ugly, ugly scene. And this guy was about to lose this brownstone, $10 million brownstone.
He's going to lose the brownstone
to this woman.
And then you're telling me something about his practice.
And a doctor has a license to practice medicine. That license is a marital asset. It is a marital asset, just like money in the bank or anything else. That practice that he does is marital asset, so that has to be divvied up. Divvied up. So not only is he going to lose all of the $10 million brownstone, because for some reason the woman gets the residence regardless.
Well, because women can't take care of themselves. That's what
unless
these lawyers and judges are telling the women out there, that you can't take care of yourselves in the year 2006.
Unless they're out there telling everybody they can take care of themselves and should be given special rights to break through the glass ceilings in the corporate world or anything. That's fine. But in divorce, it's archaic. It has gone. It hasn't changed since, I guess, the original laws for divorce are there because during the Little House on the Prairie days, when you would take a wife, she would be a wife and take care of your soddy, your little house, whatever Laura Ingalls lived in, and if the husband either died or left her, she's screwed until she finds another guy. What's she gonna do? So the husband would have to, if he divorced, would have to take care of the wife. She couldn't do anything else. Well, in 2006, women are still saying, we can't do anything else without you men.
Well, they're playing it both ways.
Without you men.
They're playing it both ways, though.
As far as the divorce goes, right. Everything else is, we're fine, we're independent, we don't need you, let us do this, that.
Women are getting away with murder in these divorce cases.
Oh.
Because they become accustomed to a certain lifestyle. That's
right.
That's what the argument is. Unless the man says, well, I'm accustomed to getting laid 4 times a week.
Right.
So how about this? You come over and continue to take care of that for me, hooker with a ring, and then you can have the place.
Bingo.
Bert in Philly. Oh, okay, we get why Ant's on his side. Need I explain it further for West Palm?
Oh, poor West Palm. They don't know anything, do you? Your PD says.
Anthony went through hell and back.
Yeah.
In his divorce case.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Where his ex-wife was claiming that she had something to do with the success of the Opie and Anthony radio show.
Yeah, that was in there. Nice, good, clean fun.
The divorce lawyers out there should die!
This guy said
for what they do to the men.
He said he said to his wife, you're going to go from a gold digger to an ash and rubble digger.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Oh, this guy's a class act.
Brilliant. So
and you know what? I applaud him today.
Yes.
Let me play devil's advocate. I almost, in a way, understand why she didn't want to be around this loser. How do you blow up a building that you're in and live?
Yeah,
how do you not?
Bad.
What a zilch!
That building completely came apart, and he's laying in the rubble, yelling "Help! Help!" to the fire department.
I'm on fire, Mister.
You know why?
Help. There's a brick on my face.
You know why? He was in the blast zone, and he decided, "Wow, this is too crazy. Maybe if I move back a little bit, I'll still."
Do you think, or was he like right near the gas?
He probably got a little scared at the end and said, I'll probably still die, but it'll just feel better or safer if I die from the third floor.
Yeah, we need a little more info to come in during the coming days of where he was, how this happened, how he lived.
Yeah. Let me go to John in Chicago. John, what's up?
Hey there, Jen.
Yeah, hey man, how y'all doing? Opie, first of all, I want to say you're my favorite. I even named my son Christopher Gregory.
Ew. My mom hated Gregory. That's why my name's Greg.
That's adorable.
My dad's name is Gregory, too, so y'all got a double thing going. But anyways, I want to call you out. I think you need to watch your tail. The cops probably going to be after you, Opie. Yesterday, you called it a suicide attempt. I think you might be involved, buddy.
I did call it, like, right after we saw it on the news.
He's got an alibi. He actually mentioned it before the building blew up.
I mentioned it on the walkover. I mentioned it to Anthony and Jimmy. I'm like, you might want to...
Keep your eyes over there.
You might want to listen closely.
Dude, watch this.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye, mister.
And by the way, Coke Logic writes, if Opie was right about the building, then, yes, the Chinese may really be coming.
Yeah. Now you got to pay attention to everything he says.
All right.
Could be right.
Should we get right into some audio here?
Please.
So the doctor was going through a bitter divorce.
And it
got to a point he just had it.
And she apparently has, what's her lawyer? He's one of the biggies.
Oh, really?
Starts with an F? Ralph Felder.
Oh, that dude.
Oh, this guy is like the divorce king.
You never want him knocking on your door.
There's two lawyers you don't want coming after you. Him and the one that came after me. Stupid, fat Dominic Barbara.
Who has to pay the disgusting lawyer's fees?
Oh, the husband. The husband has to write a check.
When it comes to money in a divorce and custody battles, you're right. Women are still back in 1910.
Thank God we didn't have children.
It's so unbalanced, but we all just accept it. These divorce lawyers are getting away with murder. The judges know it's not fair anymore.
I thank the dear Lord that I never had children with that woman, that I would have to still have some type of civil contact for the kids, for the children. Ugh. Cut all ties. Lotto runs out. If you're listening, dear. If you're listening, honey. Lotto runs out in a couple of years.
Only a couple of years to go?
Hope you're saving. Hope you're tucking it away. The lotto runs out.
Only a couple more years to go?
Give or take.
No, it's a little more.
A couple. It's 2006.
Well, it would be 18 if you had kids.
All right. Several. Few. More than a couple, less than several.
Are you done by 2010?
Yep.
All right, that's not bad.
Dunsky!
You're going to get a huge raise one day. You're going to be like, oh, my God. Look at this huge raise I just got for doing nothing.
Here's what you want to do. You want to show her on the next contract when you guys renegotiate. You push the money onto me. I'll hold it for you. And this way it shows up not in your paperwork at all. And then, like, when it time's up, I'll give it to you.
I'll give it to Jimmy.
No, but I'll give it back to you.
To hold on to. You give it back to me.
Of course.
We actually tried to do that back in the day.
That trick never works.
I mean, I know you're kidding, but we actually tried it.
Well, you hash these things out. You try to talk about it. Never went past the talking phase, Opie. It's one of those things that, like, because divorce lawyers, again, will keep tabs on every cent you have.
Yeah.
Where it went, what it went to. You know, it's like none of your goddamn business. And how's your marriage going? Apparently, the one he was in when he was sitting over my divorce. Well, it didn't work out too well.
Can I ask you something?
She took you for a few bucks.
You have to,
hubby.
You have to cut a check, what, once every whatever?
Yeah, quarterly.
All right, quarter. Are you allowed to, like, just have a truck back up to where she's living and pay her in pennies?
I don't think there was any contingency put on what denominations I deliver the money in. Yeah. If I wanted to be a real bastard,
you should.
I could. It's, you know something? It's not worth
You end up problem.
No, because you end up like blow up building guy.
Renting a truck every quarter.
You ever see War of the Roses?
Completely filled with pennies and guys with shovels.
I understand. Sounds great. But you ever see War of the Roses?
Yep.
It just escalates. One side does one thing, the other side does the other, and I saw it happening. And I think a lot of people that have been through divorces see it happening like that. So you just at some point have to take a breath. Sit in the lotus position, perhaps.
Get your rowboat.
And a cinder block. Take the old bag and little Connor out to Modesto for a little cruise.
No kidding. Hey, by the way, really fast, Bill from Waterford, he helps the show out every morning. The irony of this case is that this guy was a suicide bomber, but the news won't call him a suicide bomber, so they don't scare the public.
Well,
but they'll cover this news story as if it was 9/11.
If they called him a suicide bomber, we would rip into the news like crazy. Forget about it.
Yeah,
this guy was a guy who wanted to kill himself and take the building down so the wife wouldn't have his practice or the building. Which, you know, I don't know. Wouldn't she get the insurance money or something? I don't know how that works. Perhaps, and I hope we find out that he canceled the insurance on the building and himself before he did this, because that's brilliant.
He seems like a pretty smart guy.
Yeah,
he really does.
Pretty sharp fella.
He had it and just wanted to end his life, end his misery, and make her suffer in the end.
How long were they married?
Third time he tried to kill himself?
Oh, my God.
This is the third time?
This guy stinks at it.
I don't think he's a zilch. I think this is what happens when you're in these bitter freaking divorce cases.
I mean, how do you not get it right? He's trying all these awful methods. One time he threw marshmallows in the air and he hoped they would fall on him to death. What a jerk off. Just get it done already, stupid. Now you got no house.
Held his breath.
Look. He held his breath and he fell into a pile of hot dogs hoping they would drown him.
The way to do it is do the whole gas thing.
Mm-hmm.
But before you light the cigarette or whatever, you inject yourself nicely with some of the stuff you got laying around the office. Yeah. You're dead, then, you know, as you're fading out, you light the cigarette. Goodbye.
Yesterday's horror came after 2 previous suicide attempts by Bartha, an emergency room doctor who worked at Lenox Hills Hospital. Last year, he was discovered barricaded in his basement, nearly unconscious after being overcome by gas. So I feel sometimes in this very studio when Jimmy gets a little nervous and gets upset stomach.
No, it's sour stomach.
Oh, sour.
My stomach is sour.
And several years earlier, he locked himself in his office and tried to do himself in by setting off an insecticide bomb. All right, this guy does stink as far as killing himself goes.
This guy is an attention-seeking fool who married a drunkard. I've had enough.
He's trying to kill fleas and himself at the same time.
I mean, bug bomb. What an ass.
A letter and 2 words. R. Bud Dwyer.
By the way, a lot of people...
That's a man who knows how to take the gun by the handle and shove it in your mouth.
A lot of people are pointing out that probably no insurance money.
Oh, because of suicide.
Well, and you're blowing up your place.
Yeah. Yeah, think about it. The insurance company's going to at least dispute that for years.
Of course they will.
We're not paying. The guy blew the place up. Wow, you're right. Very good.
So maybe this doctor is pretty smart after all.
What awful methods, though. He set off a decon bomb in the house. Schmuck.
There's a bunch of dead bugs laying around him.
Yeah.
Damn it. Still here. Maybe he should call Greg Opie Hughes and drop a few of those at his place.
Yeah, Opie's going to find him dead with his doctor nose in an electric trap in the kitchen.
All right, listen, now we got to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get more into this story. We got the audio. It's great.
Yeah, because the news, again, this is a combination of a great divorce story, action story here in New York, and the stupid news and the stupid people they interview.
Yeah, so... yeah, we'll do that. We're just queuing up a little bit.
Yeah, Eric ran. I've never seen that before. It was kind of...
what happened?
West Palm, I got to tell you, Eric works really hard for the radio program.
He certainly does, but that was awful.
He just needs to get more sleep at night, and then he'll be okay. Anthony Wedding Planners, we go to break. I love this thing.
Oh, yeah, this Words of Wisdom, Lloyd.
Check this out, and we'll continue with the Opie and Anthony Show.
You're getting married.
No.
Here's Anthony from the Opie and Anthony Show to help you plan the perfect wedding.
I'm talking to you. Oh, are you listening?
First, you must carefully choose a wedding ring for your gal.
I
went into one of those jewelry stores in Penn Station, and I think I spent $300 on it.
Right. Well, you should also make sure your betrothed gets along with your dear, sweet mother.
Your son is a scumbag.
Maybe not. Your wedding night, on the other hand, should be a magical one.
I believe I laid there looking at the ceiling with tears of regret and sorrow rolling down the sides of my face.
Just follow these simple steps and you'll have the perfect wedding. Just like... I got nothing.
I was shocked. I was horrified. I was broke. Hopeless. What did I get myself into? It only took 9.5 years for me to leave.
Never marry a wife.
I was a broken, beaten man. And I had been married for 6 hours.
And a funny instant feedback from Stephen S. from Bayshore. I heard John Sterling was walking by the exploding brownstone and was heard to yell out, "Brownie goes boom!" I hate giving credits for that one.
Steve is very funny. He's always on.
That's why this is the greatest radio show in America, by the way.
That's right.
Because everybody else out there is taking this story and taking the serious angle. We say, ha!
Bravissimo.
To the rest of the radio hosts out there. The real deal is we applaud this doctor. Unfortunately, some innocent people got hurt. And I understand that. I take that part of it very seriously.
Collateral damage.
But as a guy, we kind of understand what happens. Anthony understands what was going on here.
What pushes this guy? What pushed this guy into this situation? And you'll hear during some of these stupid interviews that the news does, people saying, "This I don't believe it. This guy's a rational man," and blah blah blah. They call him a nice guy. That it doesn't matter. Take the nicest guy in the world and put him through that situation, and he can turn into a potential murderer or the suicide guy, blowing up property. You always hear about things like that.
You were getting there. You were losing your mind. How many years did your divorce take? Years.
3 years.
Yeah. 3 years. They had no kids. No kids. No property.
I didn't own anything. Didn't own a house. And I'm gay. No kids. Didn't own anything.
And it would have went on another year. Anthony just decided to throw in the towel. You just said, you know what? I'm done.
Mathematically, it wasn't working out.
Congratulations. You win. You wore me down.
It was settled. We settled. A lot of divorces just end up settling. They don't go to trial. And everyone's got this, and I've mentioned this before. Everyone's got this perception of court that you're going to walk in and it's going to be like an episode of some court show on television where you come up with this stunning bit of evidence, or at the last minute someone barges in with testimonies. It's not. It's the only way the justice system can move is if it's cookie cutter. Everything's based on precedent and what happened before. So there's nothing new that's happening. You're guy A, she's girl B. Yep. All right, chick C works her way in and wrecks the whole thing. No. And it's over.
But chick C is not a C.
No, I'm just using it as, it could be XYZ.
There you go.
XYZ. And it just gets to the point where they look at money. It's like slide rule justice. You just look at a figure and that's what's going to be divvied up regardless of what you did, what she did, what this happened, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. There's no courtroom scene like in television where you go, let me tell you about how I made my career. I started this dream of mine at 11 years. Are you done? Shut up. Pay her. That's what happens in real life. And a guy like this couldn't take it. Couldn't take it. So he turned on the gas and blew up his marital assets. Hats off, my friend. Bravo.
She did nothing prior but just drink and act like just a dumb married floozy while he's out earning the bread and making all the money and making all the critical decisions. Yeah. So she probably did nothing, forgive my language, but behave like a highfalutin gal.
Whoa, easy.
Who knows, though? We really don't know for sure.
I don't know, but the facts will come out on this one.
The facts are going to come out. I think this story gets much better by the end of the week. Hey, let's say hi to Kelly in Idaho.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
There's some bad gold digger jokes to be made for a Holocaust survivor, too, let me tell you. Not going to hear them here, though. Not going to hear them here.
Give Anthony a day.
Anthony's trying to rifle through the rubble and find the art that the doctor was hanging on the wall.
There were some valuables in there. Kelly.
Yeah.
Girl name from Idaho. What's up?
Well, I've been listening to you guys since I got my XM, and I just want to tell you guys you're doing fucking awesome and keep it up.
Oh,
well, you know, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kelly.
Kelly, we appreciate that, but you had to say effing awesome.
Yeah, that's all. That works.
Kelly, what do you like about the Opie and Anthony show, by the way?
Oh, there's a tricky question. That needs no answer.
That must have been a pesky line problem.
All right, let's go to the audio. Doctor committing suicide. And he didn't get the job done.
No, he didn't.
And now he's even in more
Third
hell.
time.
60% of his body's burned. His 40% chance of living at this point.
Old Dorito skin. What's he going to do?
I hope he dies, but because it's what he wants.
Yeah. That's very generous of you, Jimmy.
No, but I mean...
I hope he dies.
I don't mean that in some, like, he should die. I mean, I hope he dies just to spite this pig he was married to.
There you go.
All right, here we go.
Lucy, to set the scene, even before you get here, you smell it before you see it. The smell of burned debris is strong in the air. We know all night long demolition crews have been taking away some of that building material from this site after that huge gas explosion. There was a giant fire that erupted shortly after the explosion. It leveled the $10 million townhouse.
Did she throw any more words in
around here on 62nd Street between Madison and Park Avenues have yet to be allowed back into their homes. Right now, an investigation is underway to determine if the 66-year-old doctor who lived and worked here caused the explosion in a suicide attempt. Nicholas Bartha, who was rescued by firefighters, had been in the middle of a horrible divorce, and he apparently sent an email to his ex-wife saying he would never sell the home they once lived in.
Never sell. I'll never sell.
Well, they got the foreign eyewitness here.
Yeah.
In the explosion and subsequent rescue effort, at least 15 people, civilians and firefighters, were hurt. For others, it was close enough.
The whole building fall down. At a few seconds, I go crazy. I am very lucky I'm alive.
As for Dr. Bartha, he remains in critical condition. He apparently called out to firefighters when he was trapped under debris, but now investigators are waiting to talk with him.
I bet. Want to have a word or two with him.
And I want to say it again. I mean, you know, obviously some innocent people got hurt.
Yeah, you never like that.
That part of the story.
No one got hurt but him.
No, a bunch of people did get hurt. Firefighters got hurt. Obviously, that's not cool.
No, the guy is he's a selfish guy. I mean, that's obvious. But that's what that type of atmosphere, that divorce atmosphere, will do to you.
What tipped you off to be
drives
selfish?
You crazy.
The fact he was married to a Holocaust survivor and put swastikas in the kitchen?
Yeah, that's a little off. The guy was taunting her with swastikas in the apartment. So she'd come home and, oh, I see you've decorated the place.
Yeah, all she wants to do is make a cup of tea.
Like what I've done with the place, honey?
Right. He puts barbed wire on the kitchen table. Look familiar? She just wants to relax and have breakfast. Would it be funny if she was just a nice lady and he's just a creep?
Yeah, that could be.
Somebody print up the instant feedback. Some more John Sterling lines are coming in.
Oh, no.
They're fantastic. And Jimmy does a great John Sterling impression, so we want to exploit that today. More audio from this fine story.
Here in Elmhurst, Queens, is the satellite office for a doctor who shared office space with Dr. Bartha. And this doctor...
Wow, close call.
Has an email that clearly says that Bartha set this fire intentionally and explains why. But not everyone agrees with that. What they do agree on is they're shocked.
Horror. I couldn't believe it.
Is it horror?
That's the reaction from this scene from a friend and fellow physician who shares office space with Dr. Nicholas Bartha. Paul Montia, M.D., received a copy of the 14-page email that Dr. Bartha sent to Bartha's wife's attorney and to people close to him. It left this internist with this conclusion.
This is related to the divorce.
So you're completely convinced this is a suicide attempt?
No question.
Did I say the firefighters? Obviously, I meant firefighters. I'm still clogged up. I got my stupid summer cold that me and 3 other people in America have. Give me a little bit of a break today.
He won't be alone. He has summer AIDS.
Do we have any excerpts from this email?
Yeah, the one that Jimmy said, which is fantastic. That she'll, I don't think I got that one here. Yeah, all right. It was in the Post. When you, here's what he wrote. When you read this lines, your life will change forever. You deserve it. You will be transformed from a gold digger to ash and rubbish digger. You always wanted me to sell the house. I always told you I will leave the house only if I'm dead. You ridiculed me. You should have taken it seriously. In the rambling missive, Bartha, 66, also chastised his ex-wife for forcing his hand by fighting for a multi-million-dollar divorce settlement. Cordula, was that her name?
Yeah.
Well, at least she had a pretty name. Yeah. Cordula. Sounds like part of your brain. Yeah. Cordula.
The Cordula lobe came off behind the Stemmons freeway sign and wound up on the car.
On an all-new house. He must fix this woman's Cordula. What will House do? House blows up his house. On an all-new house. His wife's oblongata Cordula. She came in with a hangnail and left with a swollen Cordula. That house must cure.
Hate that show. Up for an Emmy. Cordula, with this you disinherited your children. Now Joanna and Serena have good reason to sign the strap hanger and rent stabilization petitions, suggesting that by demolishing the house, he would be dooming his two estranged children to financial ruin.
That's a good 66-year-old selfless father.
Yeah.
Wow, he's pissed at everybody, though. To his 27-year-old clothing designer daughter, Joanna, he wrote, "You can now forget having a fashion store." And he said, Serena, 28, the family's aspiring pastry chef and cook, could abandon her dreams of opening her own restaurant.
Wow.
This guy is bitter.
Bertha's often irrational ranting ended with another final message, a very final message to his ex. Cordula. Oh, yeah, Cordula. Yeah. Oh, you are going to get some tonight, Cordula.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah, you're a hard bitch, Cordula.
Cordula.
Ooh, Cordula. You're a dirty, filthy Cordula, aren't you? Cordula.
This guy's a scumbag, too.
Cordula, my further staying alive does not make any sense. Life passed me by, and I could not achieve anything I planned.
Or everything I planned.
Oh, yeah. He mentioned the site of his beloved townhouse, noting, I hope there will be a memorial built on the place in the memory of Eastern Europeans who were betrayed at Yalta by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Right. This gets better.
You think they're actually going to put a plaque to Eastern Europeans over there? Yeah, the Nazis, the Stasi. Let's just put the KGB.
Nah, it's going to be a high-rise and no one's going to remember in 5 years.
He denounces everything and everyone from fascists and communists to Jane Fonda and political correctness and makes it clear that the forced sale of his house was the spark that turned him suicidal for the third time in recent years. He recalled his childhood in Romania when his family was forced to hide in a cave to escape the Nazis, and later after the war when their home was seized by communists. He said his mother was obsessed to get back our house, but she never did.
And, John, I heard someone from Special F from Whackbag. Parker, Ford, PA.
Yeah.
I heard Sterling say, a floor to ceiling and a basement to rooftop.
That's for the New York audience, by the way.
This guy apparently...
I can explain that one, West Palm. I'm
no,
sorry.
West Palm, sorry.
Sorry, you don't get the explanation on that one.
So apparently he was going back. He wanted to file divorce in 1980, but changed his mind because of the children. See? The children. This guy could have been out of it in 1980. But the children...
Someone from their mobile device. I love this guy. What a bitter F.
Yeah, this guy's just miserable. Now he's even more miserable because he's all burnt up. But in November 1999, he said child-rearing issues caused a major rift between husband and wife. See, what was I saying yesterday? What was I saying? Bartha claimed Cordula refused to control their now-grown daughters. 2 years later, Cordula Bartha moved out and filed for divorce. After a trial, she was granted divorce on grounds of cruel and inhumane treatment, which, by the way, is another great thing in New York. You need a reason, and they only give you like 3. Cruel and inhuman, adultery, and no sex for a year.
Well, they said that there was a problem with they didn't agree with the way the children were being reared. She said to him, please, just stop doing it.
The court provided chilling details of what had been going on in their duplex. Defendant intentionally traumatized his wife, a woman of Jewish origin, born in Nazi-occupied Holland, with swastika-adorned articles and notes affixed around the home, and became enraged when she removed them. He ignored her need for support and assistance when she underwent surgery and treatment for breast cancer. He systematically cut off her access to marital funds and credit as a means of psychological abuse. That sounds like lawyer babble right there, that last sentence. Because what are you supposed to do? Let her keep using the credit cards?
Oh, wow.
I can't tell you how quickly I called Amex. Hello, American Express? I'd like to cancel a card, please. Not before a cruise went on it, though. But I was reimbursed. Thank you, Opie. Yeah, she decided at one point to take Opie's ex on a cruise. On my dime. That was nice. It was nice of her, wasn't it?
Got your money back?
Opie paid for his half of it. Didn't pay for mine, you know. I had to on that cruise.
Well, your ex was a lovely lady. What
I learned. You live, you learn. You call up immediately. Gentlemen, if you're considering divorce, I'm doing a public service right now. If you're considering divorce, don't do what I did. If you're considering it, and seriously, like you're going to do this, don't dilly-dally. Don't dilly-dally. Take the initiative. Do everything possible to protect your assets. Cut off all credit cards, all this marital asset stuff. Get your hands on it. Get your mitts on it. Because that's how it's going to start, with her doing that. So you do it, and then go blow up your building.
Stephen from Bayshore, another John Sterling impression. He also yelled, "The Barth Tientino!"
Tientino. Gas, you.
The Barthabino! And then another Kevin from Connecticut. John Sterling says, "A home run by the Romaniac."
Romaniac. That's a good one.
All right,
he's sure gonna swastika her with this one. I had to say it. Fan eagerly writing down one of my bombs.
All right, continue at the end here. This is some good stuff. Bartha in his
email insisted his wife wasn't entitled to such a generous settlement because she, quote, had only one responsibility and she failed. He expressed she was supposed to educate her children. I do not think a cook and a seamstress is a very good result. Didn't they want to be like, she wanted to open a restaurant and be like a fashion designer. He just sees it as a cook and a seamstress.
And a cobbler. I don't want a cobbler for a daughter.
Cobbler.
Hey, we got a Bob Murphy impression.
What's the occupation where they put the rings around the barrels? A cooper? A cooper. My son wanted to be a cooper.
My daughter's a blacksmith.
A what?
A cooper. People that make barrels.
Yeah.
Those big casks.
Yeah, we all know that. Of course. Bill in Waterford has a Bob Murphy impression, Anthony, for you.
Oh, okay.
It's the second one in. Of course, the famous Bob Murphy flub. Do we have that we can play real fast in reference, or is it... It might be hard to find real fast, but...
Yeah. Oh.
You got it there, Dan?
Fan?
Well, not that one. Oh, not that one? Oh, boy, now everyone is searching.
Do we still have Brian coming today, no?
I don't know.
He's a buddy of mine.
I think so.
Good.
Or did he might have rescheduled? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Something might be going on with him. Is it right here? All right, sorry for the delay, folks. We're on a roll today. This is the famous Bob Murphy home run
love this
call.
bad call.
The pitch. High fly ball. It leaves the left center field. It's way back. It may be playable. Agbayani can't get a play. It's gone. A home run. Oh, he caught it. He caught it at the wall. I thought sure he was unable to reach it. It's caught by Agbayani, and I apologize. He was way out there, and it didn't look like he had a play on it, but he caught it against the wall in left center field.
Way to go, Mr. Magoo.
I hated the way he said Agbayani.
Agbayani.
Well, he always had a lot of phlegm.
Agbayani.
He had a lot of phlegm.
High fly ball. Oh, look at that big explosion. Bartha flying through the air, on fire, flying, going back. There he is, Bartha in flames through the air. Oh, wait a minute. He's in the rubble and alive? My mistake. Sorry. I thought he was going to get caught by Agbayani.
All right.
Who's that one dumb man announcer who always does, it's out of here! What's his
They
name?
all stink. They all want that big catchphrase.
But they say he's like really good. Like he's the one. He gets a lot of respect.
Well, John Sterling's good until he starts with that crap.
I know.
The Yankee announcer.
He's great when he's just doing a regular call.
But he has to come up with these dumb nicknames.
Yeah.
Little catchphrases. And so,
all about him.
So, he wasn't happy that she was a cook and a seamstress.
Cook. Your father.
Did you hear this one? He defended a swastika he had posted in their kitchen, claiming it was there to show the thinking of some groups in Holland.
Oh.
This guy was a class act.
My husband turned on the gas and attempted to blow up the building. He had to be corrected.
Walks in, the husband's got the bunny rabbit ears on, kneeling in front of another gentleman. Doctor?
A doctor?
Great divorce, isn't it?
Your daughter is a very talented seamstress. Hey, doctor, you hacked your daughters up into little pieces, didn't you? What's the wife's name?
Cardula.
Cardula? When you hear me in here working, Cardula, you stayed up.
Cardula, I'm home.
Cardula! Put down the bat, Cardula.
Oh, that is very...
Cardula.
You yell that out and still finish.
Yeah. Cardula! Oh! Ugh.
It's actually sexier to yell cancer cells.
Cardula.
All right, we got
awful name.
We got one last clip here. The close call story.
A close call for one man usually in the building at the time, the exact time that it blew up. Diego Cardona is a cancer patient, and twice a week he has appointments in the building, and they're usually always at the same time. But yesterday he happened to schedule his appointment a bit later.
I'm supposed to be there. I'm supposed to be early, but I decided to make an appointment for 10 o'clock because it's Monday. I want to take it easy. I want to be relaxed.
Cardona is a patient of another doctor who practiced in the building. He says Dr. Bartha has treated him a couple of times, and he's very surprised to hear the doctor is now under investigation.
Yeah, we'll get the close calls now.
Yeah. You're always surprised when a guy who slaps on a glove and checks you tries to kill himself by blowing up a building. That's never like to be expected by a patient. Oh yeah, I figured he was going to do that. That's why I continued to come back.
Yeah. Plenty of people with a close call story, no matter what the disaster is.
You always have to have the close call story, no matter what.
Had plenty of them on 9/11. Everybody was on the news talking about how, I drive past her every day.
Yeah.
You and 5 million other people.
What did Colin Quinn say about that? He had a great joke about that.
Oh,
I was just thinking that bit.
Put it all in perspective.
Something about something. He talked to people. He goes, something told me not to go down there that day. He goes, yeah, stupid. The news. And he had a whole other.
Yeah, it was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Do we have War of the Kumias or not here? All right, that's fine. We had something else we wanted to play going in a break. Boston Strangler wants to beat building explosion guy because that's what we do. We think we live in the greatest city in the world. We're being syndicated all over the place through XM, all over the country and all over Canada, and then CBS radio stations. We got, huge audiences in certain cities in America. So we tell you about these kooks in New York. Last week it was the guy with 2 electric saws on attacking some poor, like 5'1" guy.
A little guy.
That was in the subway last week. We already forgot about him.
Yeah.
And now it's all about the doctor that tried to kill himself and take the building and other people with him. So we ask you, can you beat that story today?
Can your city top that?
Can your city top our city?
Do you have a sillier goose than we do in this city?
We'll talk to Boston Strangler next and see what he has. Something going on up there in Boston, obviously.
Yeah.
It's the ONA virus spreading across America. Wow, there's a huge crash in Boston this morning.
In the tunnel.
In what, the Ted Williams Tunnel?
What happened?
Boston Strangler.
Morning, boys.
What's the deal with that big, huge crash in the tunnel up there?
Well, last night around 11 p.m., a 10 by 30-foot section of the concrete plummeted down from the ceiling of the Mass Pike Tunnel.
Yeah.
The connector between the Pike and Logan Airport, and killed a woman in the car. And today's headline in the Boston Herald is, you ready for this, boys?
Yeah.
Tunnel of horror.
Oh, wait, the freaking phone crapped out. I swear to God.
Great timing.
Horrible timing. The headline, once again?
Tunnel of horror.
Tunnel of horror.
Tunnel of horror.
We got you beat today, Boston. Dr. Doom.
I don't know, but we had a death. Unlike...
Yeah, we had a whole building blow up and no one died.
Right.
Collapsing construction does not, it sucks, but it happens. That doesn't top a doctor blowing himself up. So Cordula doesn't get the place because she raised a seamstress.
And that Ted Williams Tunnel has been leaking and falling apart ever since they completed the damn thing.
Maybe if a little money went into the tunnel and not into a bunch of construction guys' pockets.
That's Anthony talking, by the way, Boston.
Hey, I don't care. I speak the truth.
I support all construction workers in the Boston area. Thank you.
I support the construction workers. It's just some of the people like to maybe sit there with a truck running for a few hours while their pockets get full of money.
That's right. You want to hit them? You have to tug on their purse strings.
Ooh, that'll show them.
All right, Boston Strangler, thank you.
That's all I got in fullblowneats.com. Thank you, boys.
All right. I don't know if that's going to make it through.
No, it won't.
Maybe not.
Why would you blurt out a website, you goose? They dump them.
So no one's going to beat our crazy story here in New York today.
That's a good one today.
That is a good one, but...
That's unlucky lottery, we call that, what happened in Boston. Unlucky lottery. When you're just driving and, that piece of the tunnel could have fallen in front of the car or behind it at any moment. But it decided right when the car was underneath it. Unlucky lottery. It's like when one of those huge boulders on the side of one of the highways been sitting there, probably looked at a dinosaur at some point.
Yeah, dinosaur.
Saw a mastodon perched on top of the mountain. That rock had been there since then, and decides when you and your family are driving under it, that's when it's going to roll down the hill and roll over your car and kill your family. That's unlucky lottery.
You know what the odds are of that happening?
It's the rock boulder. It could be more than that,
Perhaps
Jim.
more than that, gentlemen.
All right, we got a little inner city, not inner city. We got a few cities fighting right now. Mike from Long Island. Mike.
Hey, fellas, how you doing?
This is what we love about a syndicated radio show, by the way. Every once in a while, we have to explain this to West Palm Beach. Cities will actually start attacking each other on our show, and we sit back and enjoy it. Yes, Mike.
Well, I will say, of course, some jackass from Boston is going to call and say that they had the most exciting story. When don't they think they have the most exciting story? They're the worst case of second city disease I've ever heard of.
Second city disease.
A building fell down in Manhattan. A little bit of a rock fell down in a tunnel, and it's a big story. Get out of here. Those guys are losers.
All right.
Blown up building sucks. Blown up building sucks. Yeah, we get it,
Cordula
Boston.
swallow, yeah.
All right, Chester from Missouri. Yes, Chester.
Yeah, but I had a friend of mine. I got two stories for you. I got a friend of mine. His brother tried to kill himself once.
Yeah.
And he put the gun up to his head. When he pulled the trigger, the bullet went between the skin and the skull and went the other side that way.
He lived then.
And he was like in a coma for a week.
Oof.
And then the second one is I was driving to Pennsylvania, I drive a diesel, and
Of course you do.
there's about a 300-pound black lady. Me and another driver's come up on this bridge, and she jumped. When she jumped, she landed about 200 feet in front of her truck, and she bounced twice and lived after that.
She lived?
Yeah, she lived. You actually saw her bounce about 2 foot in the air after hitting the ground.
She couldn't have jumped 200 feet, sir. She didn't jump over 20. Wait, she hit the concrete?
Yeah, she hit the concrete, bounced twice.
Wait, so you're saying she jumped from what is the equivalent of a 20-story building and bounced and lived?
Off a bridge.
200 feet is a 20-story. Oh, that's different. If you fall off a bridge or you fall off a roof, your body knows the difference.
Fall off a spaceship, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's a softer landing if it's you jumping off a bridge.
Off a bridge,
yeah,
then
I
it
know
is a
that
building.
For a fact,
Yeah.
actually. I learned that in Geneseo.
I also want to know if when Anthony passes, are the Nazis going to put a plaque beside him on beside Hitler's tomb?
Hey, Chester, I want to wonder something, too. I'm wondering when this phone call is going to end.
Yes, we'd like it to.
Thanks a lot, boys.
Thank you.
All right.
Too late.
Exactly. She jumped off a 20-story building. Did she?
Yeah. Mike in New Jersey.
And bounced, really?
No, she's dead.
Yes, Mike.
I'm sick of you explaining
Of course she is.
in detail
Silly.
when we already understand. If a guy wants to complain about another city, you don't have to give us a 5-minute explanation that sometimes people will complain about other
Mike
cities.
is sick of me over-explaining everything. I learned it in broadcasting school.
Can I just say
that
something
most people
first?
are dummies, and you need to set the plate every single time you talk.
That's right, Mike. Ope went to broadcasting school many years ago.
Professional broadcaster.
Before you go into anything about this, I just want to say that Mike from Jersey is calling to explain that Opie sometimes over-explains things. We get callers sometimes that call in and let us know how they're feeling about certain things, and that's what Mike is doing right now. Mike?
Come on, Mike. Give me a break.
Cut him some slack on that one, Jack.
I have a very thankless job. Help me out a little bit sometimes, all right?
I can't stand it. It takes forever to get through funny parts by explaining.
Well, sometimes you gotta re-explain things. I could explain the ins and outs of radio if you would like, but it would bore the audience to death.
No, it wouldn't.
I'll tell you this much though: every 15 minutes, you got an entire new audience listening to you.
That's how it works.
And some of those people don't understand some of the storylines and don't understand that we do get off when the cities fight each other.
Oh, we got audio of building explosion, doctor.
Yeah?
Yeah, in the hospital when they offered him something to drink.
No, my health doesn't allow it.
Oh, so he's still not feeling well.
Do you have food all right?
Food, all right. Try the wine. I'm pleased you appreciate good wine. Victim of the modern age, poor girl. She was very badly raped, you see.
You see? How do you not love that clipped speech?
The doorbell.
I suppose you better let him in.
Clockwork Orange clips. Thank you, Than.
That guy's voice is so freaking creepy.
See? Yes.
All right.
No, my health doesn't allow it. His health. He's all health conscious in a wheelchair. The raped dead wife.
The big lug that carries him around.
Stupid Darth Vader carrying him.
Oh, Connecticut wants in.
Oh, that's cute.
Kevin from Hartford, this is cute. Go ahead.
Yes, Saturday night, New London, Connecticut. We had 27 people run down in a fireworks display from the car that went out of control.
Yes.
The guy was 89 years old.
Heard the story. Another elderly driver driving into a crowd of people. And Connecticut, in their infinite wisdom, has decided not to revoke this guy's license. Old people really stink at driving. They are really, really bad at driving.
Well, years ago.
And the Asians are good?
Well.
Years ago, Attell said, and I don't remember where he said it, but he was talking about old people, and he said we should use them for fuel. David Attell.
Here's the story Kevin's talking about.
An 89-year-old driver could face charges for accidentally plowing into a crowd at a festival in Connecticut. It happened in New London Sailfest. Robert Lane drove his station wagon into a group of people. The preliminary accident report states Lane may have had a medical condition that impaired his driving. 27 people are injured, none seriously.
Victim of the modern age, poor girl.
And now you, another victim.
Should you really be driving?
No, My health doesn't allow it.
The old guy, he did have a condition that enabled him to not drive well. It was called cadaveritis. He's actually more dead body than he is living virile man.
Living tissue.
Just give him a pillow mask.
Kevin?
Yeah, old people are constantly doing stuff like this.
The doctor that blew himself up in the building, still better.
Yeah, beats
Beats
old guy.
89-year-old
You always hear about
driver.
old people running people over. And they use the same excuse. I don't know what happened. I hit the brake pedal and the gas went. Has that ever happened to anybody under, 70?
It happened to Ford once on the first model and then never again.
First one. Henry Ford himself was driving it.
It happened to the...
and they fixed the problem.
It happened to the old white lady who was trying to drive in the color purple when Oprah wanted to see her children's. I don't know him.
Guilty Spark from Hop Hog. Oh, no, it's just updated. Where is he? From a website we can't talk about yet. Old people are no good at everything.
Oh, poor old people.
Hey, look. Old people are gonna... We're all gonna be old someday, too. So, it's like I always say, just beat them until you can't anymore.
It's getting ugly out there. BJ from Oakdale. Here's some news out of Philly. Philly is still a faggot city. New York rules.
Oh, see, now he's just trying to start trouble.
Let me tell you, you don't want to mess with Philly.
He's instigating.
Remember when they threw, batteries at Santa Claus?
Uh-huh.
During what was it, the Eagles game?
Threw batteries at Santa Claus.
They're brutal down there.
Philly can be a real animal town, man.
I'm not messing with Philly.
And I like how they decide, when their buildings blow up, the police are doing it. Like when they blew up that building. Remember what was that organization? Move, they were called? Well, they sure moved them. There's some organization called Move, and they shacked up in some building, and they were talking about squatters' rights and all kinds of stuff. And the police threw something in there, and... boy, it sure blew them all out of there. They moved all right.
I love the name of that segment on WB11 now. On Call with Dr. Steve.
Dr. Steve.
Let me put this glove on. Doc, why? My eye hurts.
Yes, bend over.
I'm not taking my rings off. They're good for...
Let's go to Steve, the trucker. Steve.
This exam can save your life someday.
Stupid palms up, idiot.
Steve.
Yo.
Hey, Steve.
What's up, guys, man? I worked in local news for 15 years, and the pathetic thing about all this is that, a lot of these stations, especially around the Midwest, they can't compete with the Big Apple for the sheer genius of a guy trying to commit suicide by blowing up a building. So they're going to try to localize the story somehow by saying that Cordula's brother's sister's former roommate's haberdasher went to community college in Dubuque for 4 months.
And that's their local story. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. As bad as the local news got there, it's even worse in the Midwest.
It's called the local angle. All the big stories, you got to have the local angle.
The consultants that tell you to do that are absolutely retarded.
Oh, they're the worst. We call them, what do we used to call them? Insultants?
Insultant.
When the insultant would come in and try to tell us how to do radio.
Consultants are
we had to deal
useless.
With that.
I have an idea.
Useless in radio, useless in TV, useless in any business out there.
They got to justify the $5,000 that they're charging to come in and tell you suck.
You're going to pay for him, Jimmy?
Let's get a consultant. CBS could do it and have a consultant come in here. And then we could just humiliate them.
That sounds like a lot of fun, unless you've been through it.
Yeah, we've done the consultant thing. This guy would come into Worcester like once every 6 months, and then sit down with you and tell you everything you're doing wrong. Because if he came in and told you how great you were and how good the show was, he's out of a job.
Wouldn't need him.
You wouldn't need him.
Yeah. So the consultants are there to point out how badly you're doing,
no matter what.
Yeah.
Or they don't get a paycheck. That's why consultants stink.
Oh, the early days of radio. God, I forgot about that.
I never had to deal with that.
Sit there, sit in the chair, and you're being graded on your performance. And they play tapes. You go, stop the tape, listen to one of your breaks, and go, I think you went a little long talking about that subject. Or, you gotta hit the subject really quickly. Get into it, get out, back to the music. Oh, really?
All right, this is why Philly's badass.
The last time we saw him was in a strip club in Atlanta.
Yeah, and he told me I needed to talk to a psychologist.
The only piece of good advice he ever gave.
Yeah. I don't think that's strong enough. Check yourself in and talk a lot.
Well, where is he with his career? And where am I?
Attaboy, Opie.
I always knew what I was doing.
Where is he?
It sounded crazy at times, but I always knew the ultimate goal. And I'm doing the ultimate goal. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Oh,
what are you flying to Fargo because the morning show over there needs some help?
Need some help. They're tanking.
Chris in Pennsylvania, what's up?
Hey, Ant, those Philly cops didn't just blow up a building. They blew up a whole city block of row homes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was a whole, block that wound up burning down.
Yeah.
Yeah, great move.
Yeah, don't mess with Philly. Josh, what's up?
Yo, guys, what's going on? It was ice balls that we threw at Santa Claus. We're damn proud of it.
Ice.
And Move made Wilson Good tied with Frank Rizzo for the greatest mayor in the city of Philadelphia because he dropped the bomb on his own people. A whole city block of them. They changed the police bomb squad to ordnance disposal because of it, because they're the ones that dropped the bomb, the police department.
Yeah, and why did you guys throw ice balls at Santa again?
I don't remember exactly what the reason was, but they didn't even
Because it was snowing.
No,
because there was
there.
ice on the chairs.
Because he's good.
Out, boys.
All right.
Philadelphia, they hate anything that's good and wholesome.
That's why I like Philly.
It was no surprise to me that this show is very successful.
Yeah, no
that
kidding.
Atrocious city. They're all just mean-spirited jerks.
They're just nasty people, and we love them.
Dan in Philly, what's up?
Fit the show perfectly.
My tickets sell faster in Philly than anywhere else in the country.
Because you're a despicable human being.
I do incest humor. They can't get enough of it.
Let's go, Dan.
I lived in New York for over 20 years. I live in Philly now. Philly is much more badass than New York. Hell, we have the only sports stadiums to have courthouses and jails in them because we kick the ever-loving crap out of all the visitors that come to our stadium.
I'll give it to you now, but not in the old days. I give like Daryl Dinkins era New York. Daryl Dinkins.
David
Dinkins. Daryl Dinkins. Didn't he play for the Mets? Daryl Dinkins. David Dinkins, New York. I give higher marks in violence and genuine creepiness than Philly. There was come on, let's think back. There was some wild stuff going on in New York City back then. You were afraid to do anything after dark.
Oh yeah. Koch years were bad too.
Yeah, and the Abe Beam. You were an infant.
I was a little boy. What do I still am sometimes, people tell me.
I want to thank John from Boston for being a buzzkill today. Trying to have a little fun as people go to work.
Well,
he writes on the instant feedback, oh my, I'm so... And he writes so in capital letters. Oh my, I'm so upset that New York wins the people blowing up buildings contest. You could keep that, and before you ask, you could keep the airliners crashing into buildings crown too, jackasses.
Fine, if Boston keeps we don't screen people when they go through the what is the word? I'm so stupid.
Airport security.
Thank you.
Yeah, John, where do you think those planes came from?
He's from
Boston.
Boston.
Of them, anyway.
I'm going to have to over-explain again, but John, we're just trying to have a little fun.
And I'll over-explain, John, you're a douche.
People have miserable lives. They're in their cars. They just want to be entertained and laugh a little on their way to work, John.
Were we having a people blowing up buildings contest?
No.
I don't think we were.
No.
John's just John. His name should be
Can
douche,
we?
Just douche.
From time to time, we talk about the kook that is in New York City. And then we ask the rest of America if they got a bigger kook.
Match it.
That's all it is, John.
Hey, John, why don't you get AIDS? Just AIDS.
Go listen to something else. I'm sure the Hillman has a terrific Mantown bid you can check out.
There you go. Me and Kenny were just talking detonators.
Yeah.
That's all.
The Dead Man Switch.
Dead Man Switch. Trying to figure out, this guy, they're giving him a 20% chance of survival. The guy, the doctor, blew himself up yesterday here in New York in the building. And trying to figure out, because Opie's saying the guy's a doctor. Should be able to inject himself with something if he wants to kill himself.
And make it easy.
And blow the building up.
He has
then
such
we're trying to figure out a way.
Soul and such anger.
Yeah, this isn't just about killing yourself. This is about the way you kill yourself and the building coming down and everything. So But then we were trying to figure out how he would inject himself with some kind of thing that's going to kill him and detonate the building. Like, you want to kind of be out before you blow up. So you'd have to do a dead man switch, which is like holding a button in your hand down. When you let off the button, it blows up. So when you pass out, you'll blow up. And you won't know because you've been passed out. But then Kenny brought up, what about the death grip? You know, if you die and you seize up, you won't let go of that button. So then I suggested the switch you stand on, like they used in that, the Chechenians used at that Russian school, where they just stand on a switch so that if you get shot or move,
I had to stop the music.
The whole place blows up.
How did you know that?
Oh, they had a great documentary on it.
I just knew there was a big
Showtime.
Explosion, and it was unfortunate for a lot of people.
3 days.
You knew which switch they used?
I think it was 3 days in September. It's a documentary that's on Showtime. It's about that. Yeah.
They just killed the rebel leader, too.
Yeah, they just nailed that guy.
That's
why Anthony ordered Showtime.
Yeah, he also...
Just for that.
He saw that documentary. I got to have it.
He also knows the name of the people... Or what the job is called of the people that put the metal rims around old barrels.
The barrels. You know what that is?
Yeah.
A Cooper. A Cooper is a guy that made barrels back in ye olden days.
Yeah, you and 3 guys know that.
I think it's because I went through my Renaissance Festival phase, where I used to go to a lot of Renaissance fairs. Used to meaning last year.
Everybody knows like a blacksmith.
Yeah.
A couple of those old school jobs.
Oldie school.
He knows what a Cooper is.
I learned from going to the old Bethpage Village Restoration.
Holy crap.
He probably sat there and watched somebody do like working with metal seminars.
Hey, why not?
You know we do a show with a nerd, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a nerd. I'm borderline geek.
You're far from a shock jock.
I'm borderline
geek.
Nerd. No, I'm not a nerd. I'm borderline geek.
Hey,
but
Anthony.
I have no interest in comic books or things like that. But I kind of like, you know.
Dude, you're a nerd.
You really are.
I'm not a nerd.
Or you want to make sure people know that you're smart.
Nerds are
Because you never got the high school diploma, so now you're like, well, but I'm going to show people how smart I really am.
I was fun and smoked pot in school. It can't make me a nerd.
Picture bringing that up, that conversation up on a first date. Just bring it up. You know what a Cooper is?
I would never do that.
Who made barrels?
How a conversation with Bill Burr turns into the same conversation I'd have with a first date. Bill, don't flatter yourself, okay?
Oh, this is great.
Jesus.
This is what we want to hear. Go ahead, Jeremy.
I'm trying to insult you. That's all I'm trying to do.
Jeremy.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
I want to defend Anthony. It's not that he's that smart. It's just you guys are really just that much more stupid.
Attaboy.
Okay.
All right, wonderful.
I'll accept that.